Welcome to the Heart of a Viking. This channel offers elementary art lessons taught by Mrs. Minto from the Cape Henlopen School District in Delaware. I look forward to virtually creating with you. There are new lessons posted weekly. Subscribe to the channel to make sure you don't miss a single one. So go grab your art supplies and your thinking caps and let's begin. Third grade artists, I hope you're ready to begin our Cardinal painting. This project should last us 2 art times together. Today we're going to be drawing the Cardinal and painting the background, and then the next time we're together we'll paint the Cardinal himself and add the tree or branches that he's sitting on, as well as possibly some snow. Well, I wonder though, when you look at this picture of these 2 Cardinals, can you tell which one is the male and which one's the female? I hope you guessed that the male is the brighter red one. Like most bird species, the male bird is often more colorful. Alright, so that male is going to be the subject of our painting today. So let's get started. To begin, I want you to put your paper tall in front of you, just like this. And I would like for you to begin by putting your non-drawing hand, so for me that's my left hand, right onto my paper. And when I do, I'm going to put little marks above my tallest finger, under my wrist, and beside my thumb and my pinky. This is going to help me make sure I draw my bird large enough. Otherwise, I might accidentally draw him too small. So, put your hand on your paper, put a little mark above your tallest finger, under your wrist, beside your thumb, and beside your pinky. So now, if you notice, those 4 marks kind of make it look like an oval shape. So now I'm going to connect the dots and draw myself a very light oval. I say light because I don't want it to be so dark that if I needed to erase it, it would be very difficult. So very softly with my pencil, I'm going to draw an oval shape just like that so that I can make sure that my bird is large enough. And when I finally like my oval shape, I'm going to go ahead and make it a little bit darker. It's okay if you don't exactly hit your little marks. They were just kind of guides for us. Okay, at the top of that oval, I would like for us to draw a circle for his head. Now make sure that when you draw your circle, it's not too small. And also, I want you to overlap it with the oval we just drew for his body. So there we go. I have my oval and I have my circle for his head. Next, I'm going to go ahead and put the beak on my bird, just like that. And look at that, it's another shape, a triangle shape this time. And now I'm going to go ahead and erase the part of the head and the body that are overlapping in the center where the neck is. Much better. Okay, now it's kind of bothering me how pointy this is right here. So I'm going to use my eraser and my pencil to kind of smooth that out and make it a little rounder. On a natural bird's body, there wouldn't be any sharp edges like that. There we go. So I just took away the point and made it a curve instead. Much better. Okay, so now I'm going to move to the top of his head. And at the top of his head, I'm going to make a triangle shape again. But did you notice that a lot of times cardinals have a mohawk on top of their head? Some feathers that are kind of pointing up. So that's what that is. Make sure that yours kind of points back, and then also erase the part of the head that connects to that mohawk. It'll make it look much more natural and very nice for you. Alright, let's add an eye. He only gets one since he's looking off to the side. His eye goes right down here, just beyond the beak, just like that. And then I'm going to shift my paper up a little bit so that I can work at the bottom and add a wing and a tail feather. His wing is going to be closed because he's going to be sitting in a tree. So I'm going to put his wing kind of right here where my hand is sitting. And his wing is kind of hand-shaped again, sort of an ovally shape, rounded at the top, and it shares the back edge of his body. And I usually go a little bit beyond the edge of his body there at the bottom. Okay, and then you'll see me erase the part of the body that is under the wing, just like that. Perfect. Excellent. Okay, and now time for that tail feather. The tail feathers, I'm pretty close to the bottom here, so my tail feathers are going to go down and then touch that bottom edge of that paper, just like that. Make sure that where the tail feathers come out and come down, that it's kind of rectangular, the shape that I just drew, and kind of fuzzy on the ends because it's the end of the feathers. Alright, shifting back up to the top, I'm about to draw the trunk of the tree that this little bird is sitting in. Now when I draw the trunk of the tree, I'm going to draw it from the top to the bottom. And it's going to go behind Mr. Birdie, so you might not have to draw it all the way down, just like that. There's more to this tree, it's just that it doesn't all fit on this piece of paper. So I'm just drawing a part of the trunk of the tree. Now this looks kind of funny because my little bird is just like hovering up against the tree. So now I need a branch for him to sit on. Okay, so the secret with drawing branches is that wherever they touch the tree, they are the widest, and then as they get further away from the tree, they get skinnier and shorter. In addition to that, wherever the branches come off of other branches, they get skinnier and shorter as well. So this first branch is kind of wide as it goes across, but every branch that I draw from this point forward will be a little bit thinner and a little bit shorter than the first one. Oh, I almost forgot to add some little feet and claws holding on to the branch right here. Okay, and then, like we often do, I'd like for you to grab a Sharpie or a permanent marker, and I'd love for you to trace the edges. This will really help with this particular painting. It'll help us really define those edges and give us a place to make sure that we stay inside the lines. So I highly recommend this if you have access to a permanent marker at your house. I highly recommend that you outline the edges with your Sharpie this time. And then finally, if you have some watercolor paints, that would be perfect for filling in the space around the bird for the sky. I like this color. This is actually black marker paint. Black markers that are like washable markers, like Crayola coloring markers. Whenever you soak them in water and for overnight, you can create your own watercolor paints. And that's what I've done here. I have some black watercolor paint, and I'm going to use it to paint the sky. Now here's the really cool thing. This kind of paint is transparent. That means you can see through it. So I don't have to stay like out of the lines. You notice I painted right over top of some of those small branches. No big deal, because tomorrow I know that I'm using an opaque type of paint, a different type of paint that is thick enough to cover up the black marker paint from today. So I don't have to stay like out of those lines. If it's too tricky, you don't have to. You can paint right over them, and then tomorrow we can fix it up. So I am going to paint around my bird, of course, and I'm going to leave that whole left side unpainted because that's actually the trunk of the tree. So I'm going to leave that part unpainted. Now, if you don't have marker paint, then you can use watercolor paints, or you can use crayon or marker or colored pencil. Anything that you have to color in that sky. Make sure you get all the parts of the sky. Look at mine, compare it to yours. Make sure you get all parts of the sky painted in. And then I would like for you to put this somewhere to dry so that next time we come back, you can bring back your bird painting and we can paint the bird himself. We can paint the branches and the trunk and maybe splatter some snowflakes across your page. So I will see you back here next time at the Heart of a Viking to finish your Cardinal.